I didn't get to finish. Like I said, I wouldn't trust you around an old woman in a nursing home. It's a lot of people. They get jobs as Boy Scout leaders. They get jobs as boy coaches. They want to coach the boys' football and basketball team. They want to be like Birdman. But I give Birdman credit. He came out and say he bisexual. Oh no, but he ain't bisexual. He's all the way gay. And he likes to take away a boy's innocence. I want you to pull up a video. Just put in Birdman and Justin Bieber at his home. Birdman had told Justin Bieber had visited Birdman's home. Justin Bieber had looked like he had went all down through there and then some. His hair was all over his head. He's a Caucasian gentleman. And if he was a black man, his head would have been plumb nappy. But his hair was all over his head. And he looked like a scared kitten. And Birdman stood there looking cocky. I'm not making a joke. I'm speaking the truth right now. Pull it up, people. It's on YouTube. That's where I saw it from. And the way you know you're to the right video, Birdman got his arm around Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber looked like a scared bunny rabbit. That's why he has so many mental outbursts. Because his asshole been ran through by the industry. That's why you got to be careful when your kids say they want to be stars and everything. It's a price to pay on that doggone producer's couch. You got those Charlie Sheen type motherfuckers. You got all them motherfuckers, Clive Davis motherfuckers. Oh yeah, it's a price to pay, people. Don't put your kids off into show business. The first step is they get on a certain talk show by this certain female. And then next thing you know, they career done took off. But at what price to pay? I know some kids that was on YouTube. I saw them when they was innocent. 2 little girls, and now they don't even look the same in the face. Because their parents saw dollar signs. And some parents choose to look the other way. But Bum Dot's, his case wasn't that same. He was just brought up in the old school when parents didn't want to give a fuck and they was on heroin, shooting drugs in their feet and their arms and their legs before crack came on the scene. And their grandma had to raise them. And there was so many grandkids in the house. All she could do was get the food stamps and feed them. They barely had nice clothes to wear to school. But it didn't matter because old perverted motherfuckers like Bum Dot had already got molested by his mama's both friends. And that's one reason why his grandmother won custody. It wasn't that his mother was unfit. It was that she was just a stupid bitch. She wasn't looking after her children correctly. She'd go to work. The Bible said a man that doesn't work should not eat. I mean, he didn't even have a hustle, working at a car wash, cutting grass, delivering newspapers. All he could do was stay home and so-called babysit. And he wasn't a children's father. And his brother that's dead, the reason why he ain't got no feeling for him, because he fucked him in the ass. That's the real reason. I read the documentation. Oh yeah, he got a record yay long. But one thing about a record, it stick. I don't care if your mammy was on welfare in 1945 before the computer age was out. Oh, they had computers back then for the government, but not for what they use them for now. Now every corporation got them to keep up, and they still make mistakes. But if your mama was on food stamps in 45, they got the documentation where they had to enter it in. It showed how many food stamps she was getting, how many children was under her roof, and all their social security numbers and what their parents' name. There ain't no daddy names when they go behind Bum Dot and his brother. It ain't no mistake you say, why does Bum Dot not take up for his brother? Because he know a part of him feel guilty. A part of him ain't shit. Haven't you ever seen the videos where he sit up and cried? It wasn't about no woman. It's about the shit that he been through. How he got fucked in his ass. And how he sometimes have wished that he could. He even said, I gave up on God. He said, because God gave up on me. Oh, I saw that video. And I know what he meant, because he asked God, will you take it away from me? But what you don't understand, Roachdot, God give us free will. If you take one step, he'll take another. He'll help you. But you got to be willing to want help. Just like a drug rehab. You got to hit rock bottom. You gotta say, I want help. God will help those that help themselves. You ain't never want help. You let your perversion, you let your demonic perversion spirit take over. And now you are one big walking, big fat childbearing hip walking abomination. You ain't shit, bitch. You ain't shit, bitch. But this is Reverend Donna Martinez here, aka Prophetess. Oh, I can see. I'm a seer. Look up at the word SEER. That means I can see above and beyond and then some. I can call it out sometimes and don't even remember it. I can go in a trance sometimes. And people at church tell me, Mother, I just want to thank you. Here goes some money. I'll be like, for what? And I thank God I don't take the money. They said, because you told me 5 Sundays ago about a job that was coming and that I had put in for many, but you described the job down to a T, even down to the address. I said, baby, I don't remember. And this I don't have to lie about. I may have been joking, but I ain't joking about ever. But I am a seer. That's why Boo Boo Kitty called me and asked me, was I really a witch? Because she didn't know how I knew what I knew. That ain't to make you scared or make you think I got something up above you or whatever. Oh, but I listen to Mike Mills. Mike Mills, I'm not trying to put you in this shit. Oh, but game recognized game, and it ain't no game. You call yourself a sorceress. What I'd ask you to do to stop calling yourself a sorceress unless you consider yourself one. Because you got a gift, and it goes way beyond observance. That's why we got so much in common. Because you remind me of me. And when I heard what you said, I told my husband that 2 weeks ago. And I rewind. I said, did you hear what he just said? He said, you said that some weeks ago. I said, yeah, he reminds me of me. He got a gift. And a lot of people say things and say, oh, I predicted. You be surprised. I don't have to be a witch or a warlock. He don't have to be a sorceress or a warlock. But he do got a gift. And he is really good at observing. And I'm not kissing his butt. But I call him out as I see him, just like Boo Boo Kitty. Me, you, and Mike can get on the 3-way. But I know you don't want your identity, your cover to be blown. And I will respect that, Boo Boo Kitty. Like I said, nobody will never know unless you tell them. And you ain't telling them, and I ain't telling them. And we keep ours on the low. But you got to give yourself, because it's a day you gave me a word when I was feeling kind of low. And you gave me a word, and I told you, you gave me a word. God sent you. But sometimes what the Bible say, if he have to use the rocks to cry out, he'll use them if you won't praise his name. I'm not trying to blaspheme the Lord or mix him in this, trying to make a joke. But everything I say about him, yeah, I may be preaching like the old school hooting and hollering preachers of back in the day. Because a lot of them don't preach. You remember those of you that's older, when you used to go to church, at the end of the sermon, and God said, they call it hooting. They get to hooting. But sometimes you don't have to hoot. You just get your word across. You may be loud, but then you get to, like my son who's a prophet. Sometimes it ain't even about prophecy. People get mad because they go up to the prayer. He say, anybody in here saved? And they say, no, I'm not. But some of them just want a prophecy because they heard that he is a prophet. But when his name is put on flyers and broadcast across Christian television, saying who gonna be on the lineup, they don't put prophet. They put pastor, blah, 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 junior. They don't put what he is. And then the ones that know who he is, they flock to get a word. But all you got to do is get on your knees and fast and pray. And if you keep yourself open and you repent and you forgive those that you got ought next to or against, and even those that you forgot, God will speak to you. Even if you have to, it may not be in an audio voice, a voice that you can hear like mine, but it's a voice that you know beyond a doubt, because God has spoken to me so many times. I've heard Mike Mills say some things. One time he said something, it may be old video, he said about somebody about to turn on him. Mike, I done had so many experiences like that, it don't even make sense, and I'm older than you. We know, because I sense where spirit is. And you know what? You've probably been misunderstood by your family. Tell me this. You ain't even got to tell me. Maybe one day we'll get to talk in private, if it ain't but one time and one time only. Because God know I ain't trying to hit at you, and you ain't trying to hit at me. But don't it is. But some of them think we are. So let them think what they want. But I bet you, if I believe, discern what I discern about you, you remind me of me. And you probably got called evil. You probably got called weird. You probably got called strange. People stopped speaking to you. People probably even said, or people respected you and say, so what you feel about her, man? I'm going to bring my girl by. What you think about her? And then if they don't want to hear what they want to hear, they be like, oh, you just crazy. Then they say, man, I should have listened. We probably, I don't know why I feel like we got a lot of similarities. I'm not trying to get next to you. I'm not trying to get your info. Mike, we ain't never got to talk. You said, let's do the weight loss thing. We ain't never even got to. We can just communicate like we do. But hey, let them think that we communicate on Google. Yeah, we communicate on Google. We go all the way. Yeah, we go all the way. But it's mighty funny when you're enemy. And I ain't even gonna name that Negro's name. I had respect for that Negro. But when that Negro said, Mike don't like old chicks, he didn't bust my bubble. What was stupid is that he was that slow.